If you've been online for more than 5 minutes, you already know the biggest heartbreak of the year. GTA 6 has officially been delayed until November 2026. And let's be honest, it hurts. Some of us were mentally ready to book a week off work. Some of us already prepared the snacks. Some of us even started uninstalling half our Steam library to make space. But now, we wait. And that wait feels long. But here's the twist. During this delay, something crazy happened. The single-player space exploded. Studios are cooking up some of the most ambitious, cinematic, and downright insane new titles we've seen in years. Games that look like movies. Games with worlds that feel alive. Games with mechanics so next-gen that GTA 6 might actually have competition the moment it drops. So today, we're counting down the top 10 new upcoming single-player games that look insane. And every single one of them is going to keep you busy, hyped, and entertained until GTA 6 finally arrives. This list includes dark fantasies, massive RPGs, psychological horror, cinematic story-driven adventures, and some of the best-looking next-gen gameplay we've ever seen. So sit back, turn your volume up, and let's dive into the next generation of single-player greatness. We're kicking things off with one of the most intriguing titles most people still don't know exists. Seiros is a grounded, emotionally heavy sci-fi adventure that feels like a mix of Arrival, Interstellar, and a prestige HBO drama, but in playable form. The narrative revolves around time, memory, and identity, not in a gimmicky way, but as the core of the experience. The world of Seiros isn't massive for the sake of size. It's handcrafted, detailed, and designed to pull you into its atmosphere. Every environment feels like it has a story behind it. Every moment feels cinematic and intentional. The developers have shown glimpses of a timeline system where events don't just branch, they fracture. Your choices create alternate versions of the same reality, and the way characters evolve depends entirely on the paths you take. It isn't about good or bad choices. It's about emotional consequence. It's about feeling the weight of what you do. What makes Seiros stand out is its tone. It's quiet, mysterious, haunting. It feels like a game made for players who want depth, introspection, and a story that sticks with them long after it's over. If you're someone who loves narrative-driven games that challenge you to think and feel, Seiros needs to be on your radar immediately. The legendary fantasy franchise is finally returning, and everything Microsoft has shown so far looks magical in the best way. Fable has always been known for its humor, charm, and moral choices, and this reboot is bringing all of that back with modern cinematic presentation. The world looks lush and handcrafted, filled with mythical creatures, dense forests, old ruins, and that classic British countryside charm the series is known for. Characters feel expressive, quirky, and memorable, and the dialogue blends wit with emotion in a way that only Fable can pull off. But what's most exciting is the sense of rediscovered identity. This isn't Skyrim. It isn't Witcher. It isn't trying to be a dark, gritty RPG. Fable is a fairy tale, one with choices that ripple through a world that reacts to your personality. If you're kind, the world reflects it. If you're unpredictable, the world changes to match your chaos. The creature design, the environmental storytelling, the humor baked into every conversation, it all feels classic, yet fresh. It's exactly the kind of world players can get lost in for hours, especially if you want something lighter, more whimsical, but still filled with depth. If Fable delivers half of what it promises, it could be one of the standout RPGs of this generation. If you're into dark fantasy, brutal boss fights, and the kind of combat that forces you to actually learn enemy patterns, then Beast of Reincarnation is going to hit you right in the obsession center of your brain. This is a next-gen Souls-like built in Unreal Engine 5, and visually, it looks almost unreal. The environments have this blend of corrupted beauty and ancient mythology, giant statues, cursed forests, Gothic architecture, and creatures that look like they crawled out of your deepest nightmares. Everything feels atmospheric and dense, as if the world itself is alive and watching you. But the real hook is the reincarnation system. Instead of the usual level up your stats structure, your character evolves based on your playstyle. The abilities you unlock, the transformations you undergo, and the mutations your character receives are shaped by how you fight, what you defeat, and what decisions you make. It's a fascinating twist on the Souls-like formula, because it means no two players will have the same journey. Your version of the protagonist will literally become a different creature depending on your path. If you want something dark, challenging, and dripping with atmosphere, Beast of Reincarnation is shaping up to be something special. We all know why we're here. GTA 6 is the most anticipated video game in history. Not just the most anticipated open-world game, the most anticipated game, period. But with the delay pushing it to November, all we can do is analyze the trailer frame by frame, argue about physics updates, and pretend we're okay. From everything Rockstar has shown, GTA 6 is pushing world simulation to a level we've never seen. NPCs have schedules, routines, and reactive behavior that makes the world feel alive in a way no game has ever achieved. The animations look next-gen. The weather system is dynamic and cinematic. The lighting is photorealistic. Even animals behave realistically. And the water physics. The water alone looks more advanced than the entire map of most games. This game is going to be a cultural moment. But until it drops, the rest of this list will keep you occupied. The Blood of Dawnwalker might be the biggest sleeper hit on this list. This dark fantasy RPG blends cosmic horror with medieval storytelling in a way that feels both grand and personal. The world is drenched in atmosphere, corrupted landscapes, ancient temples, spectral forests, blood, moonlit battlegrounds. Everything feels handcrafted and intentionally haunting. You play as a warrior bound to an ancient curse, navigating a world that slowly transforms alongside you. The combat is weighty, brutal, and methodical. The enemies are grotesque, but breathtaking in design, with attacks that feel unpredictable and dangerous. Bosses tower over you, each introduced with cinematic flair and environmental storytelling. But what sets Dawnwalker apart is its emotional core. The story leans into themes of corruption, identity, sacrifice, and destiny. Your character isn't just fighting monsters, they're fighting themselves, their past, and the curse slowly consuming them. For players who love dark atmospheres and deep lore, this one might end up being a masterpiece. Team Ninja has quietly become the king of high-skill action RPGs. Nioh 1 and 2 are beloved for their fast-paced combat, deep build systems, and rich Japanese mythology. And now, all signs point to Nioh 3 being the studio's most ambitious game ever. The combat is expected to be faster, smoother, and more intense than anything the studio has made so far. New yokai abilities, expanded weapon styles, and a more aggressive enemy AI mean every fight becomes a dance between speed, timing, and precision. The world is darker, more atmospheric, and more grounded in folklore. Environments feel cursed, mystical, and alive with supernatural energy. Early concept materials show massive yokai bosses, haunted villages, abandoned temples, and twisted landscapes filled with tension. If you enjoy games that reward mastery and punish mistakes, Nioh 3 will be one of the most adrenaline-fueled releases of the generation. When Crimson Desert first showed gameplay, the entire internet collectively asked the same question: how is this real? This is one of the most visually stunning games ever shown. The character models look like Hollywood CGI. The lighting, physics, and animation work are genuinely next-gen. It's one of the rare games where the gameplay actually looks better than most cinematic trailers. Crimson Desert blends open-world exploration with intense combat, platforming, climbing, grappling, and physics-based destruction. One second you're fighting soldiers with a sword, the next you're wrestling a massive beast, the next you're leaping across rooftops like a medieval superhero. The world is huge and varied. Snowy mountains, desert cities, ancient ruins, dense forests. Every region looks like it was handcrafted for maximum immersion. If the final game delivers even half of what's been shown, Crimson Desert might set a new standard for action RPGs. Capcom has been on a roll with the Resident Evil series, and their next major entry, Requiem, is shaping up to be their most cinematic and terrifying game yet. The RE engine has been upgraded, making every environment incredibly detailed and unsettling. Shadows, reflections, particle effects, and character animations all look disturbingly real. This game pushes psychological horror harder than ever. The atmosphere is claustrophobic, the environments are eerie, and the enemies are grotesque in a way that gets under your skin. Requiem feels like a return to slow-burn horror, but with modern cinematic presentation. The story is rumored to tie together major plot lines from previous games, and early leaks suggest the protagonist will face their most personal and horrifying challenges yet. If you're a fan of intense single-player horror, Requiem might be the highlight of the year. Marvel's Wolverine is one of the most exciting single-player projects in development, and Insomniac Games is treating it with serious weight. This isn't Spider-Man with claws. This is darker, more grounded, more violent, and more character-driven. The game is confirmed to be rated M, which means we'll finally see Wolverine unleashed without restrictions. The combat is brutal and visceral, with animations that look painful in the best way. Logan feels heavy, aggressive, and relentless. The environments have a gritty, noir-inspired feel. Smoky bars, rain-soaked alleys, neon-lit backstreets. Everything looks gritty and cinematic. The story aims for emotional depth, exploring Logan's past, his trauma, and his struggle to find peace. If Insomniac delivers this at the same level as their Spider-Man games, Wolverine could end up becoming the greatest superhero game ever made. The #1 spot goes to a game quietly building hype, but poised to become one of the most cinematic experiences ever created, 007 First Light. Instead of trying to copy Hitman or Splinter Cell, this game is focused entirely on creating the perfect James Bond origin story. It's a single-player, story-driven, cinematic spy thriller built from the ground up with modern hardware in mind. Every mission feels like a scene from a blockbuster movie. High-speed chases, stealth infiltrations, dramatic confrontations, tense interrogations, and explosive set pieces. The environments are built like movie sets, with dynamic lighting, interactive objects, and stunning detail. The tone is serious, grounded, and emotionally driven. This isn't a campy Bond. It's early Bond, raw, unpolished, learning who he is and what he's capable of. And the developers have put a huge emphasis on fluid movement, realistic animations, and immersive camera work. This could be the game that finally nails the feeling of being a spy, calculating, charming, deadly, and always in control. 007 First Light might end up being one of the most important single-player releases of the decade. With GTA 6 delayed until November, these upcoming single-player games are going to keep us entertained, excited, and absolutely locked in. From dark fantasies and massive RPG worlds to superhero brutality and cinematic spy thrillers, the next 2 years of gaming are stacked with some of the craziest experiences we've ever seen. If you're excited for any of these, make sure to hit the like button and comment below which one you are playing the moment it drops. Subscribe for more deep dives, breakdowns, and list videos, because this next generation of gaming is just getting started.